Yo, miawezo ve strong Eʋegbe le CEANA TV G. Dana mi kple Davero miawezo.
Nere kuku yo. Ne zoro America Amazon.
Yo, akpe. Yo, take mereku miegbona pi miegbona pi fifula.
Just a bit.
Yo, mieda akpe na mi.
Ao miglena bosanu ba ao vlo novio miglena satana ba ao vlo novio miglena bosanu ba ao vlo novio miglena satana ba ao vlo ao vlo ao vlo ao vlo ao vlo ao vlo miglena bosanu ba ao vlo novio Migrena satana ba ao vloe ao jokato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 jokato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 ao migrena bosanu ba ao vlo novio migrena satana ba ao vloe Ao migrena bosanu ba ao vlo novio migrena satana ba ao vlo 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 migrena bosanu ba ao vlo novio migrena satana ba ao vlo Jokato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 Ajato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 Ao migrena bosanu ba ao vlo novio migrena satana ba ao vlo novio migrena bosanu ba ao vlo novio migrena satana ba ao vlo
Yo, akpe na mi. Miaƒe nukpɔlawo kple nyaselawo míegado wezo na miake. Yo, ele miagbɔ da na mi kple
Yo, nere kuku.
Akpe. Nukpɔla kple nuselawo fiayi ŋdɔ afi aɖewoa do he ga indi kura ƒo nye. So whatever it is, greetings to you. Greetings to you.
Ne gbedo.
Yeah, greetings to all of you. Okay. Oh, by the way, might introduce Vic. I mean, Davero, Davero, who is one of our moderators. If the first time you have me a poem, okay. From time to time, we're sure, but these days she will be able to come more. So, you know, so that's that. Okay. I'll let you know now. Ewe Education, so we are very happy to have you here today. I think almost all of us know, but are along the Mediterranean, you know, somewhere around Africa, you know, from us, you know, the West going down, some other places they are having electronic issues. So that is sort of affecting, you know, some of what's going to be happening today. We have a very lovely and slightly different show, the kind of show that we think you'd really like. And what about weeks? Ade is 6, right?
Miracle.
No, Ade is 7. I know that.
Ade is 6.
Yeah, Doc, don't try to confuse me. You think I don't know my numerals? Ade is 6. About 6 weeks there. Weeks, you know, we've been going through this for this length of time. So this week, we're going to, you know, solicit and look at your questions and answers, comments, things that you want us to do, things that you would like to see. And we are really ready to hear you until we are able to see everybody's face, or from time to time, it's time for chatting. And we have a very special guest too that will be telling us something, but then really give us, what do I want to say? Emphasize one of the reasons why, and maybe the only reason why we're here doing Nivania Srɔƒe. Ita game solo game su.
Anya kata kwenye mala.
Yema.
Nivania Srɔƒe la.
Mia shak akbanao.
Okay. So, Doc, Meleku. No, another thing. Nufialaga from Ghana. And electronic issue at Meten line at Jivamo. We are unable to hold him on. Never go again. We've been trying practically part of the morning and all day this afternoon. If he's able to come on, which we're really hoping, we'll have him, address some of the questions that will be coming up. And actually, I think we want him to. So that's something to tell you right now. Doc Medeku, Miajo Miava after Pierre. Give us something that we can listen to and see if Nufialaga Aten
Yo, Maraku ke da nami ple da vero ape. Ta mi ape no
kola. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, Maracula Bonia, do Quinea, Omiela, Docata Quinea, Tama, Acho Monk Boy, Dak, Benamian Godo, Bamiawe, Domia, la Durette. Miawe Naba Miapa Eʋegbe, and go by ye, not the do, or who had to come a catango, or Yaba Barrel, you never Eʋegbe. Aí com homem ela vai me viu que me gira gbadia fi uma tira fo na minha ploy na oba me xia o sagoma onya bo hey ela vai me tofi alo glória via vai me tofi a mamãe bona amiga do me tofi por via na sagoma e quando com homem ela tá panami ama eu que me ajoji na eu pe banha no mico no garama me vai me awe me akpashira ngonya no mi oje mi ajaboduko aje CEANA ike hewone kata dare tuome mia da akpena mi lo miawe va doge miawe ga gbona doge ha akpena mi
akpe davero
akuyo
yo akpe ke mia fe no kola planya sala mia gbona pie abala mi ekole invitation alo mia doda amade gbona nkogana migba enye egbona nkogana mi show ni town here be mia legba dete abale da vero ple dynamic oglane ta mia gbona pie yo mia trogbo ta da nami miracle anami nchocho piade so ni temiela afia gbado
yo akpe alaye me blona special guest adegbona also Nufialaga mela fiagba Gaka, no Jimmy no he me jimbe me awonye be. Hey, that's an ever. It's coming up.
Yeah, Winneba.
Ne comments adele amade peshia lo somebody wants to ask a question nebe ya bia de le ashiwa. See, when I take my time it counts. Ne bia de le me kwe de comments aji and we can I want to answer. And meanwhile, we are still Nufialaga va nothing. And we have another. Oh, Doc, medical echo video. First one of our.
Marco, hey, me po via last week to Lafia.
Last. Okay, the camera. Very first one out. Hello. We're still going to show you, some of the videos that we had before CEANA media, because that's what the whole thing is about. I'm a chichio, where the view over Suku. Yeah, from Leko Banana. Don't say anything. Nefiao cho ngolo jeshio, and then they had all these little, which are the alphabets, right? Ngolo jeshio, Nefiao all the way from ngolo jeshio till Oteng, they were able to do this video to show what they have learned. And again, we're going to show it to you and get to know that one of the reasons why we wanted this to be a free day to ask and listen to anything that you have to say. The viewer there, some of the students they're young. We want to teach our children, actually. Right now, we have lots of older people listening. They love the history. They love, some of these things that are being explained by Nufialaga. Gakea, who will come and learn the language. And they are, because we don't want our language to die. We don't want our culture to die. Hadudu, play, Nuhio Maukana, a Hajiji, right?
Hajiji, Yema.
Okay. Okata, that's all that makes us, you see. So we have to learn them, we have to secure them. And we got a comment where the parents said that class fifia a little high na the view. Yipe view, many the view, yipe view. And that was so wonderful to hear, because it means she's listening and she's really trying to help us do this and really helping us helping. And so we want you to know that classes we are going to have beginners, we're going to have intermediates, we're going to have advanced. That is how we had it, but they were the same group of people. So they could get, they got it from the beginning. And once in a while, we repeat some of the, our things in both English and Ewe. And then the newcomers kind of get it. So if you have any child, or even if you yourself, sometimes you see me, he tells me to repeat it, and I repeat it with my accent. It's like that for all of us.
Well, you are doing good.
Thanks. So know that if you have a comment, just give us a comment, and we will work towards what it is you need, because that's what the whole thing is about. First, my dear Doc. Doc, Medeko, F4 Albert Vajia.
Miracle Mavado Areko, Egbona,
Okay. I got it. That's funny. Anyway, okay. So that very and yeah, I'm a fifia show other class where we took the class from the very beginning to now. Nyadela show na competentia.
Oh, maglonya voreko, ale na gbleko na mako labono. Ala ba gbegboglo alo gbesosroa. Gomedzedze le esi. Ale be gomedzedzea ɖokola be ne edzi vidzi ɖevia dze gɔme tso fia aɖe ano no ele be wòata ano no ava no dzogbɔ hafi ava ɖu akplẽ. Akplẽ hã ne yi agbe ƒu ɖe dzi enya le ma ta gbesosro hã nenema koe míedze gɔme tso fia aɖe yina ta míadze gɔme kple ŋɔŋlɔ dzesiawo gbã alea míedze gɔme ʋu keke va se ɖe nuwua ne míewo hema gbã abe alea míedze nua katã gɔme ava yi dzi ava tso nya ɖeka kpi ʋu kɔ egava zu abd eva zu ŋɔŋlɔ dzesi wɔme etɔ̃ hafi wòava nye ŋɔŋlɔ dzesi wɔme ene ko ke edze nyagbewo kɔkɔ vɛ míedze gɔme afi me mekpɔ dɔk enya ɖe gblɔ mi ko ŋɔŋlɔ dzesi ɖeka wòva zu ve abe míeva li ʋua míetso b kpe ɖe ŋu míeva lia ezu ab alo míetso míetso o kpe ɖe ŋu eva zu lo míele dzi ʋu míetso a ezu ba míele dzi ʋu ko eva zu ŋɔŋlɔ dzesi wɔme etɔ̃ kaka ava zu ene ko ezu nya legbe ɖeviwo nava asrɔ̃ ke legbea ye va mo de megbe fia ke ne míewɔ vivivi commercial me etɔ xɔ ge le me ne míebe ɖeviawo ame gɔmedzedzeawo koa ke ŋgɔgbeawo hã womewo tɔxɔ go ta míako gbegbɔgblɔ kpui nyagbɔgblɔ kpuikpuikpuiwo hafi aku legbetɔ kple sesẽtɔ akɔ atsaka míeyi ge ame sia ame nekɔ eƒe enutsotso yi ke wòkpɔ be yeakɔ kpe ɖe mía ŋua nekɔe vɛ ko míaɖɔ ɖo ne míawɔe wòanyo akpe na mi.
Yo akpe da vero be míaƒe amekpekpea eva ge ɖe mía dome ta hafi míana ne wòava abe ame aɖewo nya ho nui te egbea ehiã ɖo míaƒe gbeawoa nui ta wòhiã be egbeawoa ne mía ana egbeawo na atsia míagaɖe asi wo ŋua egbɔna ŋu ƒo ge tso nuya ŋu ale be mebe ame sia ame nekpɔ nuya ke le afia ta Wikipedia nye ya endangered languages ta egbewoa wo bubum ta ne míekpɔ teƒe yawo ke aŋutiɖiɖi alo red la egbe mawoa wo bubu ge ale be gama aɖe gbɔna ɖoɖo ge egbe mawoa mogawo do ge le anyigba dzi o ɖoko wogblɔ be o teƒe ma wodona ʋegbe tsã lo alo wodona gbe yi tsã ta ehiã be CEANA yi ke nye eʋewo ƒe habɔbɔa ne míako míaƒe gbea abe ŋuvevi ene ale be míalé be nɛ ne egbea ne mawògabu o ta ale be ame aɖe le mía dome míeɖe ge afiafia ta egbɔna ŋu ƒo ge na mí tso ale yi ke ya yi wònɔ ɖevi me eƒe aɖewo yi va yi mea wofiana ʋegbe le teƒe mawo wònɔ ale be yi wònɔ suku hã wosrɔ̃na ʋegbe le afi ma woŋlɔna ʋegbe gakea egbea ne yi afi ma ʋegbe megale afi ma kura o ta enye nyaike oboglom ta nye nyaike obe ya va gblɔ na mi wòaɖi aɖase na mi ale be ne mianya be nui te wòhiã be ne miako miaƒe gbea vevie abe alae da vero kple da na miwo gble va yi ene. Ta ke mana da na mi na aɖe miaƒe amekpekpea fia yo akpe.
Yeah.
Akpe.
Doc Akpe. Okay. Amega Albert Atisese, who grew up in Badagry, Nigeria, will reminiscence about the time he was growing up and Ewe was taught in schools in Nigeria. Come and listen about where Ewe was and where Ewe is in Nigeria today, in Badagry. And as Doc said, this was the only reason why we took on this assignment, this job, this very happy thing we're doing. Egbeo oabu de oha buho ye maybe not on our watch. Eʋegbe abu mio.
Never.
So this is a real life. This is really interesting because it's a real life person who experienced it in school. And now in that particular region, small region, Eɓe Ebuho. So please welcome Amega Atisese
Yes.
to our program.
Yes or no?
Yo, akpe. Amega Atisese Wezo. Yo, Wezo. Marako mianko sama.
Emiakpama.
Wezo.
Yeah. Okay.
Maraku, yema mi anko samu.
Okay. Marako mi anko sam.
Misenko.
Mi anko yen sama.
Marako.
Ebe yeme mi anko samu.
Mi anko sam. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, ke Marako miagbona. Miagbona pi.
That's Zora kama nami miamba.
Yo.
Danami. Nada joma nami.
Medale. Kwede.
Yema. Yo, ta misa hayara.
Boma e kanawe. Dauma ya flidio mi walk boma e. Kanawe na walk boma e dauma. Walk boma e. Dauma ya flidio na walk boma e.
Yo akpe nami. Mie trogbo. Alaba abala mie be CEANA convention egbona enye tope yi. Eʋegbe tɔwo katã ƒona fu le alebe eƒe yama le Labor Day weekend le US ni US over Labor Day weekend September me afuma owoge le Colorado eƒe yama owoge le teƒe aɖe yɔna be Loveland alo lɔlɔnyigbaji ta mi blali alidzi ne miava afuma alebe miese ha obe novo agbo ne yoyi ta obe fokone ikenye nola ne Colorado toa obe yovo agbo ta mi omiga vo miva ta yonye Colorado lɔlɔnyigbaji kasigbe ogaka yo gba hugana mi o ne be nanya register kola de negede mema ta yo akpe ta ke efo Albert ayedun atisese ike danami edefia ele miadoma ta ke miana ne wa agede miadoma alebe no poncho aleke ochide badagli nwe alebe ale echama odona Eʋegbe fuma ga ke fia Eʋegbe moga don fia ne mia ao yo akpe yo wezo
Emianti
Mianko yensama.
Maraku mianko sam
Yeah, mianko samu.
Opo mianko samo.
Why did you go? Don't hear me mianko samo. But Doc, let's just send him a note to just go on and talk.
Yeah, since we can hear him.
Oh, mianko samu.
Since we can hear him, he can continue.
That's what we're saying. Yeah.
Amaga Jesus samia de kuku atan fonu fa fonu yela toji
Ele be mi
dog azan o whiteboard
whiteboard is a mafia. Ma one here. If you mi aga hang to cosamo.
Yo. Okay, yo Eva ta mkwoga fifia. Marakwa mianko samazo efo atizese. Okay, yo. Okay, marakwa mi ayiji.
Ele kone pon sese biade.
Marakwa ya pon vie pon sese vie mie samta. Marakwe mianko sam
Abraham to Ghanaian Katana to Ghana ma jiso bonyina mi aba alai do katawan yana then ya todo of to call le khamakatan ko do ko taraji karaji ba kayanya mon popo ganto ba yeto ika liba o to awo han koraji le khamta akpena ni nyawe do
yo akpena nagere miadoma egba
Akbe.
yo tamaraku yiji abale mieglo na yemie dogo alabe yenagle ba ye chide badagri ikele Nigeria alabe eglo habe time make yenye de via ye ofiana Eʋegbe le Nigeria le badagri le suku ga ka ye fifia nebe yi Nigeria badagri area mala Eʋegbe magala fuma kron Eʋegbe abu alabe ikomie be na apong chong nami na miase ela be avala miekpoe va yina United Nations to oblo enya de dadi bene eduwo mele bene woƒe egbewa ogbona bubuge abe efe blaton ike egbona na toko glo be o egbe ma oyona be egbea odone le teƒe aɖe kpɔlo oyodone le teƒe aɖe oyona be nka Togo alo Benin alo Ghana ƒe akpa aɖe oyɔna be Volta region ta egbe ma o egbe xoxo aɖe wonye fifi ame aɖeke megagbe ma dome ta ŋmate na be efo abet atisese be yava gblɔ na mi be ya nye ame yi ke kpo ŋuteƒe ɖe egbea ƒe bubu ŋu Eʋegbe ƒe bubu le Nigeria ƒe akpa ma ŋu ta yo efo abet atisese mereku ke ele gbɔ.
Yo akpe ma akonu le tama yenye be Eʋegbea bubu le Nigeria godo fifi le efia kpedzi be CEANA ƒe ŋgɔgbetɔ yiwo egbɔna va Nigeria le metsra ɖeka kple keke ƒe aɖewo gbɔna sia woyi gakpe woŋutɔ kpɔ gaze si be eƒe dukɔ menye Ghana ɖeka kpolo, menye Togo ɖeka kpolo, menye Nigeria ɖeka menye Benin ɖeka kpolo, ele Nigeria nye like ke to ɖe asi ma enye duametɔwo ta ne yi ɖe Nigeria fietɔ Lagos futa eƒe dukɔwo nyatɔgbiwo tso dukɔ ɖe asi ma xoxoxo o efisɛ ɖe fifia hã ne ge leke wonye be Lagos futa kpodzi ne yi ko la Eʋegbe se gena la egbea mebu iko mi dona le aƒewo me nu ye me nu nye be le in the 60s kple 70s wo me le miaƒe primary school wɔ alebe le kpɔɖeŋu me sia ne be Salvation Army Primary School Boglo Primary School si ke nye yɔ be elementary school miatɔgbi ɖeka woyɔna be Boglo wo nye ŋgɔgbetɔ na Salvation Army chercheur wo school ma in 1944 suku ye nya me Salvation Army Primary School Oloma Mecca iha miatɔgbi ɖeka si ke woyɔna be Aliko yero suku ma le the same year 1944 na eva yi ɖe yevunya Badagry ike nye Badagry proper Badagry ƒuta ihe na suku ya wo ɖo asi ma ihe ekplɔ ma me ke alo domimɔwo ta wofia na Eʋegbe ye mo yi kplɔ me le sukuawo na yiwo yi ke ede suku le kplɔ mo me nagoviwo kple bunuviwo hã wofia na Eʋegbea yi katã le elementary school le kplɔ mo me gake fifia nu ɖeke megadzi mo elabe aɖeke womeli le kpɔɖeŋu me sia dɔ yawo miɔ nye va le fifia xeke medze dɔ mo wɔ mo ta Eʋegbe sia le sukuwo wɔ megava yi o nya abedera menɔ elementary school yi me si gbãtɔ menye ɖe mete xlẽ ge o ta meŋlɔe be hã gake mete xlẽ na Eʋegbe se ɖe fifia ok mi kplɔ me le nye be Eʋegbe tsiblibo godo enye gbe aɖe si ke mi Eʋegbeawo Eʋegbedolawo yi ɖe fu menɔ mia si alo mi kana ɖe miaƒe degbea dzi abe ŋdɔ bubuwo ene o.
Oh, sorry, Ege, Dogea.
aro just casual trip or whatever. Ni mandada shi iba na yira da ko aba no Ghana shi ya. Asiaru for the G for the non-go for the
Okay.
a professor Frehado. The Angoni Baji, the Nibaji, Langoni Baji, and Mokantu. It's about our map, but never down. Ghana, you must down for Madame Brubato Maro, Mataki, but do more. And Shabba Mavuku. Young move mentality on the Lima. When you get out of the mother Somalo, that's Somala Nigeria. And the Yagia do here, Muga, we are like the Bravo, I forget Amado, Blaganuba, Magana, Niba, Patola, you know. Aromagana, Niba, Pato, you know. I will the Nigeria, Shishia, Nigeria, the Poglo, Lashimaji, and the Nigeria to Coma, almost about for a car. Now, font newspaper. September 30th, 2005. I mean, as the Poglo in Nigeria, who used to own the Karakara. It's a popular newspaper, newspaper, September 30th, 2005. I think once you carry a list of identified ethnic groups in Nigeria. That year newspaper, September 29, 2005. In a carry a program number 67. Because we have a Ewe and a Boblo, who does the Shiva in Nigeria, the Boblo. A customer of you. One quite also was there, but the people are currently boiled. She no Nakakler at the Boblo. Unia, and you figure. Ulabanya out of Sochi. Now you're a very bad you of my colonial because of Akujian block. You also, but that you're Azano over Batuma now. Nakashi Shalaka. Yes, you, Yano, also was that of and I don't know Nigeria. But you don't think, but I don't know Ghana anybody. Chicago, Avazu, a pastor for the Banco Gruber, from a Tuku, paper. Asia, you know, Nagabaka, who am out there to me, I'm a week. I thought, I'm not going to only permanent. I'm a girl. You know, Lenama. Our number, you know, Lucia, much money before. You never name you over. You never inferiority complex. Yes, you look for you. You open this there. I find the inferior. American, the husband, too much. I don't know what two run of Shaman. You got up a better nuclear. What does it show you? But you might do more. You put that for Maradona for Shako. So you tell me, Mao or number here and give me go for them. Then you have to grab a boo of such a Le projet CEANA, United Nations Award now. We open a zero and G. We have to talk about language. For example.
Yo, apa no.
Yeah, my God.
Akbar.
Yes. But you know, it's amazing there, and a big blessing to have found someone. Many would carry the classroom out in those years. So we found you, you know, to mention and to talk to us, a real life person who experienced it. The Eʋegbe, like the United Nations, you know, is saying Atabu, and you know, ours is one of them. And we have been able to have you really confirm that, you know, because you lived it. And that's the reason why Eʋegbe edodo ko here. Eľebe dom gakea, eľebe mia view, mia straw, mia hollow. You know, just even if you send them, you teach them 2 or 3, you know, like we started a class, we said etiquette. We need to show them etiquette. We call how to greet, and that really, really worked. And we've even had some of the students for the first time go back to Ghana. Well, not go back, but just went to Ghana because they had to go because they had a funeral. And they talked about how just that was a big influence. And that you probably don't know who. You remember that Delphia? Delphia and the son. Delphia is an older person in our class, and the son. Yeah, they went to Ghana and told us how.
I remember the story though.
Yeah. Ita amaga akpekaka ke once in a while me lobe nava ava how do you say semi, but come and listen to us. How do I say that?
Yeah, never do to me apa wana.
Never wanoka.
Wado to me apa wana.
Okay, yeah. So I know the to and the okay. Nava do to, you know, me apa wana le afia, just so that you can give us some comments or something that you think we can work with, something we can work with.
Exactly.
We don't want, yeah,
I'm
but
more than willing to do that.
Yeah. Ma konu de kako pina miafua. A chok pa manya glora dani. Ba anyo bo hanu miere gonami. Alaba ayo nyam nyapa ngogbeto gbonako. Dododo re share mia tanwo ba Eʋegbe na trogbo va nyigba maji. Blibua mia tan ne jideƒo be evava ge edzɔdzɔ ge hã. Gake nu yi ke nyama gagblɔe nye be gbegbɔgblɔ mezɔna ɖeka o. Ezɔna kple míaƒe dekɔnu nuɖuɖuwo. Yevuwo be culture. Culture is a whole lot. It's a whole package. Eva kple nuɖuɖu, nudodo. Azɔli zɔzɔ ŋutɔ hã lea míezɔna hã, hã le dekɔnua me. Agbegbɔgblɔ hã kple míaƒe gbedodo, míaƒe nuwɔna gbe sia gbe kaka ɣe naɖo to hã, wo katã le gbegbɔgblɔ ya me. Ta ne míeŋlɔ míaƒe nuɖuɖuwo be, míeŋlɔ míaƒe nudodowo be, míaƒe gbedoname kple tɔxɔ, egbea lo dzodzo mí ma. Ta akple kple fetridetsia nenɔ vevie miali ɖe asi le afi ma, ale be numɔ efifia woxɔe mía si. Ne míeyi ƒuƒoƒea, míatɔwo be fetridetsi wo eko xɔm wole mía si. Nenema ko wowɔ yexonuwo le mía si. Ta miatro míaƒe yaka ke abolo, kalami kple fetridetsi numɔwo nonɔ mia gbɔ kɔ enuwo tɔtrɔ ge agbɔ nye gbedza nyi.
Yo.
Ni la mara si kongo fatita kia ya ro ya miento. Akla na marunya shai ya mara kama kan hoga sini. Ema vaya wuta na da jama'a ko na mai jika biya ba kuma na mano rumoro ya na mashi zo matrozo ta ni mafana ko ya so ta ma da ko na ususu da ko no fo ya ta ko nya anu mana nama.
D'accord. Yo, que ni da pena for Albert e atisese da yife ngufofo ata ta miape nukola oklanya sala mionto miese enya abale for Albert egloene for atisese egloene ta yima ta obe ele miapa shioma ta enya Cleo kata leke miatawe afina Eʋegbe magabu alebe ehia yema oglonami be ye denate fo ye kone be amo mo jina be yodo Eʋegbe mo jina be yo nya Eʋegbe to onye kogo ha no ye ake una lugbedo ge alo ado ogegbe pletomo ta alebe mavana be miape gba eba bubum ta akpeno kaka be na doremia doma egba
Akpe last minute eba
Marco ma espera ni no fenama so wo ni ba ni o ni nyaroki soma para soma ku patuli aka buo mo hia o mo ji mo mi o gbaji mo se kan kaka ba yi o songa ba yo to o ni o ni o fa ba o to raji o fa ba promotion aka ya tre to ima ma nya no ye ya azie tama ba ma ga yi na no ya o to que passa por
yo akpe e Marco Mesia enu flamanya kle ife nyagledi namia
Miesi lo miera kuku miesi
yo Marco akpe
kaka
yo
akpe kaka ha be egba ko mie yo egba mie ngolonko that did ho lo yaka maybe in another few weeks ko egba mie yo ko ejagbagba you know have me anchi you never want to hear nani nye da akpe now very much
yo
thank you
yo akpe ke ta meyo ke obama do bia biambe leke Badagry le ha vado de Ghana ta Marco mie map alo no metata ya koma ta mi kwebe ta Ghana nye kamala ele emiame abe gbono kotoku ane le miam alebe le Kushima yenye Nigeria alebe tepe yake le yie le Titina alo in the middle you have Togo to the right, immediate right of Ghana, and then you have Benin after that. Then you enter into Nigeria. And then, so in this corner there, between Benin and Nigeria, you have Badagry there. So Badagry is there. And you can see that it's actually, is it in Lagos State? FO, Maribu, Badagry, Lagos State.
Badagry is in Lagos State.
Okay, Tai is in Lagos State. Ta fifia, ye kwebe egba bula fuma. Ta nebe ne zocho fuma ke eva gede Benin ma. Ta ne gede Benin ma, na cho Benin ake gbona dodoge Togo, gbona gegere Togo ma. Ta te fomo kata ofe gbedom la fuma. Ta ne cho Togo ma keba gere Ghana ma. Kenya water region odona Eʋegbe. Tamie dopo la fumo gata. Ta yema fifia le nia Nigeria badagri ka odona Eʋegbe le ofiane echa le sukua moga fiamfia enye ngi ke edo leko glone edo ablaya lo leko dimenya leko glone edefu enye ngi ke mia abuta machung abe overview and yo akpe.
Doc, you know one mistake that we shouldn't make no matter what, because you know why we started this thing. We have said a lot today, but those who need to be learning, those who want to learn, who are interested in learning, don't understand half what we've said. So would you, in a few words, say why we have a guy here that, just you always mention, beginning of every video, how the United Nations says da 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 da. Now, can you, in a few words, say to our friends and children who don't understand anything, why we had Uncle here? We'll call him. You know how we are. We had Uncle here to come and speak, and then why we must do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Danami.
Yeah.
So our listeners and viewers, so just to say this in English. So as you can see on the screen, there is a lot of research out there that shows that a lot of languages are disappearing, and that there are a couple of languages that are at risk of disappearing in the next few years, if nothing is done by the speakers of that language. So as part of CEANA's responsibility as a body that carries the Ewe culture, a few years ago, we decided to come together to start this Ewe class. And we call it Strong Eʋegbe or Learn Ewe. And we've had a couple of you attend those sessions. And it was an interactive session to teach Ewe fundamentally. And for folks who do not have any basis in Ewe to learn Ewe. And we've had a lot of success stories from people who attended these classes. And we have a couple of videos that we've produced over the years to showcase some of the work that the attendees of those classes did. And they did marvelously well. I believe last week we showed one video, and a few weeks ago we showed one again. So Uncle is here, Uncle Albert Tisese. He grew up in Nigeria. So a part of Nigeria that they used to teach Ewe in the schools. But as of today, as of now, they don't teach Ewe in those schools anymore. Because it appeared that there was not a lot of work that was done by the speakers to encourage the continuous use of the language. So the language just vanished all of a sudden. And he mentioned that the language is still spoken in homes, though in Badagry, which is in Lagos State in Nigeria. However, it's not taught officially in schools like the way it used to be done about 30 or 40 years ago when he was a student in those schools. So this is very concerning. So that's why he took it upon himself to come here today and talk to us. Yes. So Dana, me, and Auntie Vera.
Thank you very much, because that's the only way we learn. Don't know why they're here. Okay.
We have a question from
again. Thank you very much.
So we have a question from Dr. Eʋegbe, who is the head of Department of the Ewe Language Education at the University of Education, Winneba. So he has a question on the screen. It says that what shall we do to awaken our traditional and political authorities and our youth, as well as all and sundry, to change attitude towards the Ewe language? So that's his question. I believe Therefore, Atisese touch on a few of those points, that it has to actually come from us as well as individuals. How can we encourage each other to speak ever? So, for example, when we go to CEANA, what should be the medium? I know that there are people who can't speak ever. We can actually mix it with English and French, for those who come from Canada and those who are from Togo, Benin, but we need to ensure that Ewe gains currency in all the things that we do. And then as far as the political side, yeah, it means that those of us who are in positions of power in the various countries, they need to take this upon themselves. I believe recently, for David Abusa sent me a video about a debate in the Parliament of Ghana. So they were talking about this issue of languages disappearing. This is something that we started a few years ago. They started talking about it just recently. So he sent me this video. And so one thing they were saying is that if you even look at Accra, for example, which is predominantly Ga, Ga has disappeared a lot. So how can they ensure that the various areas, they are able to speak the languages? Those languages are taught in those areas, right? Because as Auntie Vero mentioned, and that Nami also mentioned, language is the building block. It's actually the glue of culture, right? It's what holds everything together, because that is the medium that we use to describe everything. See, our drumming, our dancing, our poems, everything, our food, everything is described using the language. So once the language disappears, then everything just follows like that. It becomes a domino effect. Yeah.
For you know what, Doc, you know what I do? I was going to say, Ga is one of the languages that's really getting lost, even more than the Ewe, because everybody from every country, everywhere come to Accra, and Accra is just so big. And that's really, really getting lost. And you mentioned something, I think Efo mentioned it, and you also said, like, how it also has to do with the masses, how we are going to, protect it. And this is something very small that I do. When I go home, and I'm half Ga, so I protect both languages. When I go to buy something and I speak Ga, and the person speaks back to me in, let's say, tree, usually I can tell whether the person is tree or not tree. So I would say, why did you answer me in tree? Or what did I speak tree with you? Then they say, oh, madam, oh, Ofane means, I beg you, no. I said, well, then, are you? He says no. I said, okay, I'll go and find a Ga person to buy from, because it's like you don't expect respect for them. I mean, just something small. So from the masses, if you push back a little bit, it kind of wakens them up,
Yeah.
So that's something that I think is very interesting, because that's the only way the masses can help, unless they go on a parade or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Auntie Ver, is there something you want to add? And also the audience, please feel free to put comments in there as to how this can be done, because this is actually an area of research that is gaining a lot of momentum around the world. There are a lot of people working on preserving a lot of our languages.
Yeah, I would say mostly it's ignorance, or in there where we say mani. It's like you are doing something without knowing whatever I'm doing is going wrong. Mi manyaba emi magbadomo enane gblem le mia ŋutɔ ŋu, kaka yina nu gblem ge le miaƒe dukɔ alo eʋe dukɔ hã ŋu. So eyi miegbe wobena ʋu kɔgo ƒom ko gbɔna ʋu gã nu hã ƒo ge gbe ɖeka. That's an idiom, Ewe. So when you are beating the side of the drum, one day you will beat the drum itself. That's how you practice. So now that we are hitting these points, I think soon it will get into practice, and our people will get to know themselves, who they are, their culture, their language, and put it in practice. So thank you all.
You.
Thanks.
Okay. Albert, Dr. Let's see, Dr. Gadagbi had a comment. Dr. Gadagbi was asking, assuming the Ewe language disappears in 40 years or so, would that mean that our clear fertility will disappear?
That's a new only food. Only food. It will, because let me answer that. It will, because they are going to put all kinds of different meats and fish and stuff in there. There's a fish that I don't remember. I think it's catfish, really. Because when I used to go on vacation in Jelukapa, every time I'm coming home, they will cook. It's light soup. They usually use it for light soup. And they'll cook that light soup. And I think
that's blolo dachi.
Lolo dachi. They will make it and they will package it plenty, and I bring it back home to Accra for my mom every time. So eventually, all they're going to do is, instead of lolo dachi, they will be using what is it called? The one that we salt. Which one is that?
What? Tilapia?
No. The one that I think is tilapia. Yeah, the one that messes up that. Yeah, tilapia. Yeah.
Akpa.
I think they'll use akpa, and then that's the end of your that's the end of your cultural food. Even now, when they're making, let me say, for instance, when they're making kenke, when you see a Ghanaian woman's kenke and you eat it, it's very different from the kenke they make, because they try to make it akple and then boil it. You see, because they don't know how to make it cha. Do you understand cha? When they say something is like almost slimy, cha. So in Ewe, they do the same thing. They do things like that to Apprende, and then before we know it, we don't have it anymore. Yes, Doc BG, that's what's going to happen. It's important.
Yeah, to add to that, third doc issue, relax, things will get better. In the homes now, we taught them to eat sandwich. Noodles without akpan first, without yakayeke in the house, without abolo in the house. So when you bring your traditional food, they say, "Oh, I want sandwich." So that is where some things are going wrong. And then you told me no come the via fiam cho goma jeje. Alomia pa majuro mia fiankoa. No nana pom le YouTube.
Like that.
A bluviada de yavoade. Okona de viada shi. Wafia de via a cotomble tadi rudu. Oprofofo no no ha magba matama yokona no. Da odevia dada no ablugba dom le no godo no gbo. Ihana dunwa na walaka. Nana makola be mianto mia ado vivire mia fa nunu ko wanyo. Tamia tanwe wanyo akpena.
You enyoge abale Davi Sylvia Mawira Fiajo Glenaba. I'm happy this is ongoing here. Our language is our pride.
Absolutely.
Alabe financially present. Global, thank you for that summary.
I might have a question long that I can't see it anymore.
Okay.
They asked, I can't remember.
Davi Matilda Teteviave Akpenami. Thank you all. Afi Efo Nufialaga yeah, great. Well articulated. I attended the Yevunya Primary School up to class 2. Wow. I believe this is Badagry, right? I believe, yeah. That school still exists till date. It's called LA Keta West Primary School.
Keta
Okay.
West Primary
So
School.
this is quite
Yeah.
interesting. We are getting a lot from Badagry. Yeah. If you know other people from Badagry or those places that have experiences, would like to host them on the show to really understand from their perspective. Because this is actually, I never knew. First, I was just hearing about this disappearance of languages, but I didn't really know someone who really went through that cycle until, you know, I came across F4 Albert at TSSN.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. So it's real, you know, it really comes down, it comes home.
Yeah.
You know, it really comes home. And we've always said that. FO Doc, you always, every time we did this video, you will say that the United Nations says in 40 years, da 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 da. And then we see somebody who says, oh, in 40 years, it's already happened. And I was there. So we got to try and, you know, do. Oh, so let me say we are on the right path. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on the right path. Doc, look at me. I just want to ask, can we show the first video? Will be about 10 minutes to show how, so everybody can see how the students, someone who didn't know, somebody said the whole year what she was able to learn were, I think it was 1 through 10 or something. That's great. She learned something.
Yes.
But of course, that's not the only thing she learned, you know. So,
Yo, Akpe, Lawrence Nagaduike host na the African Jazz Panorama on CEANA TV. But what dialect of Ewe is spoken in Badagry? You may know for Atisesegale Kajio. Allo, okay, Ellie. Imeriku Ebiambe dialect, Eʋegbe dialect ki o donale Badagry.
Let me put the brief history of the Ewe of Nigeria. She could Pafi CEANA onye gaba titinaro 2016 make a document the brief history of the Ewe of Nigeria. I don't know dialect on Tonashima. The dominant saying on Woya Anglo Ewe, Anglo Avali Amatulina 95%. Kenya Wognia Anglo Ewe. The Nagatola from the President Yado, Apumado Shika. Menyang apa tu mulu kan orang tahu punya apa pula gini ada apa kau pada olah sesuai ini village akan ayo nya hawo gusti yo dialect ya dominant grupa kohinya no Ewe ale ako madumi na makli aku to matoi sila sima
yo aba la oblana yema tani benakpo Wikipedia heya cho alabe elle afia Wikipedia nakpo egbawa ekpogebe olana mabala ogli nyape egbawa cho Nigeria pakpa mavado Ghana pakpa wa kpogebe eyi nanama alaba ovaido de abe fla maglomola abe makede fla mangleke fade
fla
yemenye ebeka onyo ta nekpo nuya fiame malafia ikecho Wikipedia nekpo mapia ekpogebe ya akpɔge fla okay yema la fuma mreku mi ya mi poma Wikipedia nye obe la fuma ta fla yenye yele ngi gbemumu me alo green la fuma le Lagos kpɔge la fuma e alebe ne yi kaka kpɔge fla obe ede ha le Kutonu Benin afuma va ge Porto Novo kple afuma katã wafi obe fla nguia ɖewo hã le Anexɔ kple teƒe aɖewo hã ta yo akpe ne questiona efo Lawrence alebe akpe ne efo atisese ne nguia hã fla nguima ta me yiwo ke be yo aku nguia gɔma me nguia da ge ɖe chata me alebe ne be ya aku gɔma you want to get more information, you can actually refer to this Wikipedia source, which actually has this.
Mama Lee Benoka. Mama Lee says the accounts are taken over. Well, we're letting them. When you go, don't sell them at plant. That's the thing. Petri Dechi and Akple. So the Petri has become so expensive. So let us promote the language at Akple and Okros. Well, I told you don't sell them. Yeah, Boluga, Boluga, Boluswe, the fish, the small tiny fish.
The bolu.
Boluga,
the bolu is the big one is the lobster, and the small one is
no. There's a way they call it when they fry it and they're selling it by the roadside in the plastic. They call boluga, bolulolo, or boluga. Oh, your name? You don't know it.
Nah.
My sister would tell me to always buy bolulolo. Does somebody know what I'm talking about?
Ow, manya boluji hill, a boing.
Ovana gaviare. Yeah, nemia twekwa, mioko what dena plastic me. Janelle, moji, moto, not moji, moto. And that's the way it's described. They're the small ones and they're the big ones. And when I say big, I don't mean they're like 1.5 inches for the big ones.
And in the coastal Anglo side, we have different names.
Yeah, it's Anglo because I'm in Qatar.
So. Yeah, as Aƒetɔ Atisesa was trying to say, the little tiny one is bolujihe, and then before the bolu, that's the baby shrimp.
I'm not talking about shrimp though. Don't worry, it would come back when I come. I'll tell you. This is fish. This is fish, la. Calame is like they are calames. They are not.
Yeah.
It's funny how I have the thing in my head. It's not coming out. But it's there. If you go to Keta, you go to Jelukope, a moto. Name you moto mataple, elama calame ma. Ovana swe. Ovana gaga. Gaga is just about 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Never mind. Next time I'll tell you what it is.
Exactly.
As soon as we finish, it will come in my head.
That's what happens.
Yeah. But that's great.
Yeah. Albe Davi.
Oh, it's a 1,000. No.
1,000. No, that's not
that
it.
one is a fish.
No, that's what I'm talking about is fish too. 1,000. We lobo gaga. How many you? 1,000. I know everything.
Mother 1,000.
People are asking if it's 1,000, but 1,000.
No, this is la. Oto kalame la. Kalame oko dene plastic me ko atai. Ne do abolo fifia ne pode ko alo ano afima ko ano dum ano
salivate na abolo plakana.
See, those are the things about our culture and language. Somebody asked a question. No, that was not 1,000. You may have said katako ma temple no maleo. Elle
Sukukɔkɔ and Atimpoku, those.
yeah. Ellie, yeah. Somebody will say it. Appear to contribute to dwelling interest in every children in their language.
Yeah, Davi, Georgina, Sapati, many educated elites appear to contribute to the dwindling interest of every children in their language. Imagine a mother insisting, which is very important. Albert, it looks like, this is a very important point that is making here. I think that we parents, we are responsible for some of those, because I've seen some parents who don't want their children to learn Ewe at all, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but there's actually research to support the fact that if a child speaks more than one language, their brain actually expands more than if they only speak one language. You know, they are able to think faster and better than someone who only speaks one language. So I think there is a very positive side for us to teach our children how to speak Ewe, and yes, that there's a lot of benefit in that. Thank you for that.
Let me say one last thing here for teaching the kids language. You know, if I have to teach my grandkids, I should teach them Ga, I should teach them Gadangbe, and I should teach them Ewe. So I was trying to teach them Ewe and Ga, of course. And do you know that the parents said, "Mom, please teach our children tree in addition to whatever you teach them." I said, "What? How I teach you?" They said, "Well, we don't live in Ghana. We were born here and everything. But we have heard that the Tree people are taking over all the languages. And we don't want our kids to go to Ghana one day and be bullied or get lost." That's what they told me. So they want them to understand a little bit of Tree so they can push back. And I thought about it for a long time, and I thought, well, it makes sense, but me myself, I can't speak, I mean, I don't know. But they said I should add them, whatever I teach them, I should teach them Tree in addition. So unfortunately, my grandbaby, when I said Akpe, she says, or sometimes they say, Akpe medasi. Akpe medasi. I'm sorry. But they're saying both, that one day they will know that there's a separation. And if they were in Ghana and they said Akpe, or somebody said Akpe and they said Midasi, the person would just think they are communicating. But that's how, from what Auntie Matilda said just now, that's one of the things about it. The kids, they just need to learn a language that they can win with. And if we do this with Ewe, they will know that they can win with Ewe too.
Akpe. For Dekorn, Nufialaga, I'll be glad to see the Ewe flourish, especially in Badagry again. Yes. We need to push for it to be used as medium of instruction, at least at the primary schools. Yes, yes, that's very important. And I believe Dr. Eʋegbe was asking that same question. So there has to be that push. But as Apprende, Georgina Sapati also said that the educated elites among us appear to be part of the problem. So, it's something that has to be done. So if the elites who are supposed to push for policy, they are instead abetting in that they are not allowing their kids to learn the language, then there is nothing you can do, right? Because you need to be able to push for policy. So as I was saying, for David Abusa sent me a video the last time of the debate in Ghana's parliament about how to ensure that the languages are not lost, right? So this is a serious issue that a lot of people don't understand. And I think it's very important for us as a people to really work hard to reverse this trend. I think for Dekorn was talking about how to push this to be taught at the primary school level again in Badagry. It looks like he went to school there, as you were saying. So I don't know whether during his time they used to teach it there or not. But according to for Albert, he actually took Ewe in the schools during his days, but it's all gone. Yeah.
I remember the first time about 6 or 7 years ago, almost, when someone came. We felt he was Nigerian. The first time he came and told us there were Ewes in Nigeria, and CEANA had a whole committee research before we believed him. We didn't think so. I know he came to CEANA about 3 times, and now we don't see him anymore. So maybe now we'll find him again. And for Albert, we'll give you his information. But he was the first one to come and tell us, and we didn't believe it. Yeah, true. I was secretary then, so I knew. We didn't believe him. He came a couple of times. But here's the reason we know, really.
For John, Richard, Amakailan Gona, Miapa curriculum development. Aleke Miapa history seems to have different versions in Ghanaian schools. Miago Obe Dr. Dogbe.
Dr. Dogbe and Nufialaga, yeah, they are the ones.
Miapa Nguyema, Tamaraku, Ne, Enya Nacho, Enya Biama for Richard Lengwa, Rakumia, Adonwa, Eva Makalan Gona, Miapa curriculum development. Aleke Miapa history seems to have different versions in Ghanaian schools.
Yeah, Doc, Madakwa, you know, Jajado, Womnawa, Adon Mangunamia.
Just a sentence or two today, but then they are the ones who are working with us now, the university level. So it will come. But for today, they need to say something if they're there.
Yeah. Niko majiba magblenya ba apono sakwati penya bele enya yaka for Richard Agba biama New York ata wo hia me hia na curriculum PPP albumia ta I implement mi ola sukuma gaka history ikanya miapa jochufa de jojo me avafia o mo lolombo wa to ho na yo. Oh, they don't want to build on the past. I love a war New York Mofia or you queen a chan no VGH ma poma oh the grandma dona rena de vian Ofia how the viana do it. Fifemia ko tablet dash in the devia. Vogdomala tablet aji. Ta mion to unwalk tababla feo chona and walk belachu a farmer, you know. Ta na mama lio kwa madon kuji mai vinyaro gbo ma ved po agbaja no review don kona ba grandma agbaja ta na ma bona po grandma say agbaja ta ala ba umo kwe hawo ta nyanu ika vivio nta ayi no ponko po grandma we have to do agbaja no fofo gbo we have to do agbaja ta fofo ba vivia na egbodo ma la be awa agbaja fi o nu sha no ta na nwa omi oh, the Fiama. I could judge not more take a town on much jogger now, but they will have their pigs. At the Liano do Koga, the Liano Sosron Koga, the Lia do a loga do avota daraboha. Near for history, Vivia more cover Sarah Comer, no book. Tanioa curriculum vaga gaka a farm. Nature a farm. Now we have of you. My habo won't on and yet to machilla farmer cuckoo. Not dicha yo bo, Ugba don't call her blood a caro boffy najo.
Yo,
yeah. That's why they say it begins at home, just like charity, whatever it is.
Charity, yeah.
It begins at home, like charity saying,
yeah.
Yo,
Oh, everything.
Everything.
Nufialaga Dekorn. Near Miss Eʋegbe Gakea. And now everything is, fun, and we're still learning. Even you had to give us a question or two, for answering. So we miss you, Gakea. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yeah. And again, if you have any questions, any ideas, just put them in the comments section for us. Even during the week, we'll figure out what possible answers there are and kind of put them together for you for next week. And by then, get ready. Next week, we're going back to some it means we're going back to the classroom. We're going to be learning ABCDs, A, B, D, E, F. Okay. I remember that. Yeah.
We're
talking about.
Yeah, me say hade alabe obagba pangia mienya be enoge allow ali ovaya ro komisubo afo atisesa ro ko avaga be minity ewada na kwa ajo kaka obe eva yi emento alabe nekwebe enyo ta na miewe kwa
video matanva
video matanva.
Oh my God. Oh, we've been working on it all day, all night. So that's fine. But he was also going to participate in this kind of thing anyway. We didn't change what we were going to do completely.
The email that me have not to the email
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about another portion.
Okay. You.
Okay.
Yo. Alabama. Ebe de ko nyamagede apa makabao afia
and miss into how do you say miss? How do you say miss in
Abu Nugare?
Yeah, missing. Abu Nugare Balo.
Gagako magavon. Ekwebe fifia niya eli magala bachan nenye bode sinia na malafumo kwa ke
go to
YouTube la fuma da ata atrove akweta berekuna we kwa ata gere YouTube aji kwa afuma jino geko na ko alemia edronya magba yemie ko efo atisesen ikecho Badagry, Babong Nami, Akpe, Abale, Danami Hagle, Mia be Mia, Anami, Nchocho, a lot suggestions about programmer, Yemo Global Model, Onami, Miado Vaye, Ta Odo Omchung, Ta Nufialaga Dekorn, Dr. Dogbe, Cho University of Education, Winneba. Yike omi afiama washitrom ngiyong alabe tamarakumina ne ngiya onava alabe na mai na naga afimia achi alabe mia doya womimila mia akwebe mia na otu Eʋegbe amos Eʋegbe alabe egba magabu ta akpe Tell me go.
Okay,
yo.
I change it completely.
Nyawa agbaja.
Do kwera jiba mashama agbaja. Panyonyo apokpa so gbanye onya, nkaletie onya, apanyonyo atogbara magalio. Vana po etu panyonyo, apanyonyo atogbara magalio nyonyo ma pokpa ota jipo planyigba maraka magalio
nyoma pokpa ota jipo planyigba maraka
kana kwa Yesu panyonyo apanyonyo atobara magalio nyonyo ma pokpa ota jipo planyigba maraka magalio
Balafia.
pokpa ota jipo planyigba maraka magalio kana kwa apanyonyo atobara magalio nyonyo ma pokpa ota jipo planyigba
I have problems with the use of traditional readings without prior permission.
What does he mean by that?
Yeah.
Who is that?
For Richard, Marigo Atapon Chonwa.
What is that?
Yo.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you meant. Okay.
Bye.
Next time, Nava Kababiana YouTube aji nakpo the past ones, huh?
Yo, bye. Yo. Oh.
Okay. I think we can be here till 7 o'clock just talking about all these things. But I know that very has to leave. We are happy you finally got here. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
thank you. You got me.
Week, I'm going to make sure that you don't spend that other 1.5 hours getting ready for work. Just come on here.
All right.
We'll see you.
Let's pray for that.
For Richard. Okay. Amend the Christians of today. Okay, using the
okay.
It has to do with law, international law about even China to printing. Cut across so many different areas. New Zealand. Maori.
Maori.
Native. Maori. Okay. Native people yokel Dumama or New Zealand. Alebe mamawa onye ya nyemanyane ejejemo mashie nemi akpere. Alebe mamawa ofe egbe a ngijo nyebe ye English ye vo ya fuma o ho ngede alebe ofe gba ha enobubum ta ngike over wanyebe over be yo ana yofe amona fufu alebe yofe ngio kata yofe gbe yofe ngwona yofe hajiji okleto mokata neze hajiji ma ejebe na hefe ne edua ekwe ta owema the Maori people alebe owema nenema olema ta ya owema ta alebe over fufu de ofe ngion ta alebe nenyebe neze ofe ngia photo ya nono tata ya alo neze ofe how ejebe na hefe data ekwe copyright
smart
ta ta ehia be miohamia agede pema tobiale o towe Maori toya o pengio alebe ta nebo ho ni ma copyright license fee to mo ko ni ko tuna ope te pawe ekwe ta na ba ofe te pa va chichim ta nene mai na ma we ma ta enyoba na bia ya ta. That's in the long term. That's what maybe probably CEANA can morph into an organization such as this. Yo,
all right.
Yo, me no man to.
Yeah.
I'm a chercheur. Just want to know something about themselves, about even traditions that they grew up in and ate off and went to school in, but don't really understand. The viewer who need to be teaching her. We've also heard a little bit, about what's going on. What's going on. They hopefully they had 1 or 2 sentences today that has given them more interest in learning their parents where they come from language. Sometimes they don't want to. So we are going to continue next week and putting everything, our curriculum. We talked about curriculum. We have all that planned already, and we will have, like we said before, we will have levels to help us. That's the only way. We cannot come here and just speak Ewe throughout, because that's not what we are about. We are supposed to speak the English or the whatever and learn the Ewe, morph it. Therefore, I just stole your word and
no problem
into the Ewe language.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like every word. He has some words that he comes up with, and I have to write it down together. So that's what we are going to be doing, and we thank you for coming. And Vero, Medekuku Atajo, because don't you have to go to work today?
Yes.
Afia egbato afia mi course sando ya alaboglo obe vivima vonale agalagomo alabe obe Nufialaga Dekorn lamanya be oglone be vivima vonale mango ko alo nanaku fruta de ma ipangi ko kwado ngora fumaima
okay.
Ta io akpana mi agata ta mi gago doga même da bona ga ke obe le Ghana Togo kple Benin na fifia o exchange time o tro gama ta le miagbo le US afia ta ko miomie e wona ngia Ghana US Eastern time ta echa enye ga sheke le Ghana Togo kple Benin ga ke fifia o change gamata if you have azu ganyi, so it's now 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. before. Yes.
We'll try to remind you. You know, I remind you via almost every week for the next few weeks to get used to it. And tell your friends and family to go to YouTube to watch everything from beginning to end. Bye-bye.
It's been a very great discussion tonight.
Yeah.
Yo.
Put some music on as we will go away. Let them dance.
Yo.
Get something to dance.
Okay. Egbona, mother haya Emma. Nami. Yo, ta. Yeah,
I have to write that thing down.
Yo, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nyaga Togo. Akwena mashiama. Yo, Nyaga Togo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ta, yemata, Apprende. Every Friday, we have jazz. Every Friday, we have jazz every Friday on this channel. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tamanya miato yokel Africa, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Gawia Vema, Gakene Benabayase, Habiviada, DJ, F4 Lawrence, Mawinyaga, Ike Bia Fia, Lafia, Ewana, Mimata, Nabayase, Ta, Ale, Miako, Esege. I love it. I feel Mbemnedagba, CEANA Central, F4 Steve, Claire, Davi, Empress, Mausi, Ovana Eji, Gawide K, Plafa, Ikenye, Jefe, or Eastern Time in the US. I love Afi, Chokama, Miva Dora Bobo, Ikenye. Collaboration. Hello, miakle top radio ikele Ghana ona miona bobobo Davi authentic mama MFA ike host na show ma happy na mi chofuma mi va dore mi atogbo ta Ghana Eastern time ikenye 8 p.m. Ghana time ta nyaga dore mi angu abale mi dore mi angu gbana akwana mi ma wona yira ma shama yaga adogo.
Doc, how do I say we had fun? Ojijo, Ojijo, right? That's how I say.
Yeah, me Ojijo.
Ojijo.
Yo, Ape.
Oh, mi glena bosanuba, au blo novio. Mi glena satanaba, au blo. Novio, mi glena bosanuba, au blo novio. Mi glena satanaba, au blo au blo, au blo, au blo au blo, au blo, au blo Mi glena bosanuba, au blo novio. Mi glena satanaba ao bloe ao jokato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 jokato jojo nya 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 dala Yesu regbe jokato jojo nya 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 ao mi glena bosanuba ao blo novio mi glena satanaba ao bloe Ao mi glena bosanuba, ao blo novio. Mi glena satanaba, ao blo ao blo, ao blo, ao blo ao blo, ao blo, ao blo Mi glena bosanuba, ao blo novio. Mi glena satanaba, ao blo Jokato, jojo, nya, 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 dala Yesu regbe. Jokato, jojo, nya, nya, nya. Ajato, jojo, nya, 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 dala Yesu regbe. Jokato, jojo, nya, nya, nya. Ao mi glena bosanuba, ao blo novio. Mi glena satanaba.